I don't know how the hiccups, so I'm a little stressed out. Give me a second, I need water. Hello everybody, Liz here. So today I'm going to do a video about my top 5 trash YA supernatural novels. So I just want to preface this by saying trash isn't derogatory in any way. Like, I'm pretty ride or die for all of these series. So again, it's not a bad thing. Like, trash as in like trashy, like it's, if you think YA supernatural romance, that's what I mean by trash. Like, they're still really good though. My first pick, these are in no particular order, but my first pick is the Hush Hush series. Boom! So this is a saga. It has 4 books: Hush Hush, Crescendo, Silence, and a Finale. And this is by Becca Fitzpatrick. So we'll do that. So this book is a series that follows Nora. She meets a new boy in biology class, and he's kind of rude to her. So she's kind of, oh, he's kind of an asshole, you know. But it's really good, and I don't want to give any spoilers away in case anyone wants to read it, but it's kind of a hate to love relationship where there's lots of twists and turns, and a lot is happening that you don't know is happening, and then when you look back at it when you're finished, you're like, oh my god, I should have seen that coming. I like this book particularly because it's quite similar to Twilight in the way that it's a human and some supernatural creature. In this case, it's a fallen angel, but there's laws of nature that have to do with this, and there's a lot of mythology, and it's pretty good. There's 4 books. My favorite is probably the 3rd one. I read these about 2 or 3 years ago, I can't remember, but I love Patch, who's the fallen angel. I should have said that before. It's Nora and Patch. But I'm a big fan of these. I love them. The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. I love these books with a burning passion. It is my favorite series of hers. I love all of them, honestly, but this for sure is my top favorite. It's so beautiful. The covers are so nice. The story's awesome. This follows Tessa Gray as she and her adventure. This follows Tessa Gray. We don't really know what her deal is for most of the book, honestly. The book starts with her being held captive by these 2 women who are essentially torturing her. And then she is saved by a shadow hunter named Will Herondale, and is brought back to the Shadow Hunter Academy. And it follows their story. So this book's really cool. There's a clockwork army, which is really cool, and it's very atmospheric, I should say, and it's kind of like, I think it takes place in the 19th century, I want to say. Pretty dresses, carriages, clockwork, steampunk kind of thing. And I do have to say that Will Herondale is my #1 fictional boyfriend. I love Jem as well, who is the other boy in this book. This does have a love triangle. That's one of the tropes, but I can say that this is one of the only love triangles I've ever read that ended in such a satisfying way, I guess. All 3 of these books are just so heartbreaking and beautiful, and honestly her best work, and I love all of them, but this series is insane. and it just gives so much more depth to the other novels. So it wouldn't be a supernatural YA trash romance novel if I didn't include Twilight. So pretty self-explanatory, everybody knows Twilight. And if you didn't, it's about a girl named Bella who moves to live with her dad in Forks, where she meets Edward, and woohoo badoo, he's a vampire. I was pretty hardcore Twilight fan in my preteen years, so I've honestly read these books an insane amount of time. I don't know, they have a special place in my heart. The House of Night series. So these are just 4 of them because honestly, there's a ridiculous amount. Like if you just boop, rate, oh, don't want them to fall. That corner, all those books, all House of Night books. Have I read them all? No. Will I? I hope so. It's about a native girl named Zoe Redbird who gets marked and has to leave her life as a human and move into the House of Night Academy, where she makes new friends and she goes to school learning how to be a vampire. So I liked this series because it was quite different from other. I went through a really big like vampire phase. This one I liked a lot because 1, there's a crazy amount of content to consume. 2, there's absolutely no guarantee that anyone is going to survive the change, and it could happen 2 hours after you're marked, or it could happen 3 years after you're marked. You don't know. So the whole time you're in training, you're kind of, it could end at any time. You don't know, yo. So they go to school, they make friends. It had a lot to do with elemental magic. Vampires are one with nature, and there's ghosts, and there's blood connections, and religion, and oh, also secret societies. I'm actually thinking I might like completely reread this series just because it's such good trash, you know? Like, I sound like an idiot, but I love it. A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Again, I absolutely destroyed this series. I read all of them in less than a week. I loved it. I absolutely adored it. So it is a loose retelling of Beauty and the Beast. There is a human girl named Feyre, and she kills a wolf while she's out hunting to provide for her family, because her family's pretty useless, and without her they would starve. So she goes and she kills this wolf, and turns out it was a fairy. So Tamlin, or the Beast, shows up at her door, tells her, hey, you gotta come with me, it's part of the treaty. So she's gotta up and go. I don't remember what the fairy place is called. Pyrithia. She has to leave the mortal lands to go to Pyrithia with Tamlin, where she's supposed to live the rest of her days to fulfill this this treaty thing. So this book has romance and the whole shebang. There's, honestly, it's so good. Hi, Lima. Lima's coming. Sorry. The first book is not as good as the book, as good as this one. And Sarah J. Maas is very good at writing action scenes, so the battles in it and stuff like that are very, very good. So highly suggested. And also the characters are so hard not to love. So hard not to love. So those are the 5 trash YA series that I recommend to anybody who's in a YA series mood, you know, wants a YA paranormal, supernatural, romance kind of thing. like and comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If you want to see more of what I'm reading, what books I buy, that kind of stuff, check out my Instagram. I will leave the handle below. Until next time.